Also, houses of worship have been told to discontinue singing under a new order from Gavin Newsom as the pandemic gets worse.
There's still churches in California, though?
Surprisingly,
so this does apply to somebody?
Yeah, there's 5 churches left.
Okay, so we got
in California.
Of the 5 churches in the entire state of California, you're not allowed to sing now.
At any of them.
This is stupid.
It is.
It's just asinine, man.
I will say that we have instituted a return to church at my church, and they try to limit it to 50 people, so it's like A through F or whatever, and then F through L, and so on. And they've asked us not to sing. Well, they told us not to sing. And so we just listen to the music being played, and we don't sing. But nobody's mandated.
Oh, I thought that just sped up the service. I thought you were going to say, so we just don't do songs anymore.
No.
And we're out of there in about 20 minutes.
Well, we are out of there in 45 instead of 2 hours. So
see, so China, you did a little something on the plus side of the ledger.
But nobody has said, I'm sorry, you can't sing in your house of worship. That our people made that decision themselves. And that's fine. I don't want the government to tell us.
Right.
The government should stay out of this. And by the way, that brings me to Bill de Blasio, who was asked about limiting religious services, but not saying anything or doing anything about the massive protests that went on with thousands and thousands of people. Listen to him being questioned and what he has to say about that.
I want to ask you about a court decision from last week. A federal court ruled that you and Governor Cuomo violated the Constitution by restricting religious services during the lockdown of the pandemic. The court said you openly discouraged religious gatherings and threatened religious worshipers, and sent a clear message that mass protests are deserving of preferential treatment, essentially saying that you treated the protesters who were on the streets differently than the religious gatherings that were on the streets.
Exactly right.
Your reaction?
No, just wrong. We worked with the religious leadership of this city for months. Cardinal Dolan in the Catholic Church and so many other religious leaders.
Did you talk to Cardinal Joe Tobin?
Yeah.
Because,
That's
as
what
we
matters.
know,
That's what matters.
As we know.
By what authority did you nullify the Bill of Rights?
I called up Cardinal Tobin, Cardinal Joe Tobin in Newark.
Don't give me the Cardinal Dolan thing. Don't give that to me.
Right.
Okay?
What are you
It's
doing?
unacceptable.
That's a poser cardinal.
If you don't have Cardinal Tobin, I don't want to hear from you. Anyway, here's what he had to say.
For months, Cardinal Dolan in the Catholic Church and so many other religious leaders who were in full agreement that it was not time to bring back religious services because of the danger it would cause to their congregants. The protests were an entirely different reality, a national phenomenon that was not something that the government could just say, go away. It's something that really came from the grassroots.
So the protests were not something that the government could just say, go away, but religion was something they could just say, sorry, go away. You can't do it right now. You can't tell me that every single religious leader was with him on, maybe Dolan was. I don't know. If Cardinal Dolan said, yeah, it's probably not time. But there were plenty of people who wanted to reestablish their services and have people come back. There were many of them. And they were told, no, sorry, you'll be arrested if you do it. Let's hear the rest of this.
Something that the government could just say, go away. It's something that really came from the grassroots.
That's amazing.
And obviously had profound meaning. And we're all acting on the meaning of
religion
those
doesn't have profound meaning.
But it's really apples and oranges. Our religious leaders were the first to say it was not time to bring back services. Now we're doing it carefully, smartly. So I think that decision profoundly misses what the very religious institutions themselves were saying.
Let's talk about where we are.
That's bullcrap.
It's total bullcrap.
Total and complete BS.
And that's the same nonsense that CNN has been trying to pull. They had a thing post. I got an alert on my phone yesterday. As 12 U.S. states record a more than 50% rise in COVID-19 cases, images emerging from the holiday weekend show not everyone is taking warning seriously. They did this over Memorial Day. They're doing it over July 4th. And their headline, by the way, is referencing a time period of the protests causing this increase.
Yep.
They don't do it. They didn't send out any alerts about that during the protests. Like, oh my gosh, the people are gathered in the street without masks.
No, it's such a lie.
They wait until we're celebrating U.S. holidays to send these stupid news alerts out, and it's the same game that de Blasio is playing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the only things they blame are the reopening, the too early reopening, or the patriotic holidays. The protests, they don't even consider.
Nope.
It's unbelievable.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
And it's frustrating.
Right. Destroy cities.
It's dang frustrating.
Burn down businesses, loot, riot, tear down statues.
Yep, breathe on each other.
Those crowds, fine, man. Whatever.
Yep. Well, they're important. Those were of national importance.
Yeah, but if you gather at a beach,
or if you want to go to
church, yeah. No,
Sorry, you're not important.
Madness.
You can stay at home. Amazing.